got to go ahead and understand that his extension was probably because his commitment to God and his support was there, and he knew God was working there. He only stays one other place longer than here, and we're going to study it next week. So it's just kind of interesting that these two were the things. Paul establishes a church, and he shifts his attention to Gentiles. Now, it's always going to say that he's going to go into the synagogue and he's going to try to reason. That's his method. But his focus turns to doing the Gentiles. So what happens, and this is kind of sad, you spend some time with him and you keep on going, okay, well, here we go. Paul goes home. But where is home for him now? He goes to Antioch. He finally ends up in Antioch. Now, before he goes home, I put this at the bottom of your sheets just to give you an explanation, because this is the part that I go, oh, I could talk all day about this. While he was in Corinth, he writes his first two letters. And guess where he writes them to? Look at this. Back to the Thessalonians. And I think if I do it this way, and in my brain, you get a true sense of why Paul wrote these letters. Because remember, less than 6 months ago, he had been kicked out of Thessalonians and ran to Berea. He sends Timothy back up to the Thessalonians, and guess what he has in his hand? 1 Thessalonians. Timothy comes back, reports what's going on in the Thessalonians, and guess what he does again? He sends them another letter. And we have these two letters in the Bible. And this takes place. And I think this is just, I don't know, it gives me the heebie-jeebies or something like that. But you really have to understand, Paul didn't start writing letters until he rededicated his life to what he was doing. And God told him, I will not hurt you, and I will not let anything happen to you. This all happened after he probably got the worst intimidation of his life in Athens. He starts writing because he now sees the need to commit himself to other people. And that's just, I don't know, it just kind of gets me. So, guess what? He takes Priscilla and Aquila into Ephesus. They take the little journey. I'll show you the map in just a second. But he takes the little journey over, and I can't wait to tell you everything I know about Ephesus next week. We might have to be here all afternoon, because I know a lot about Ephesus now. But go back over there, and then he leaves them there. And I'm going, why did you leave your best friends there? Well, you'll find out next week. There's a reason. God wanted Priscilla and Aquila in Ephesus for a reason. And it's just amazing. They started a house church in Ephesus. That's why he left them there. And by the time Paul gets back to this house church, you're not going to believe what's going on in Ephesus when he comes back to them. And Paul leaves, and he promised that he'll return back. In the meantime, from him leaving Corinth to Ephesus, he gets the haircut, which means the period of time of his commitment to God and understanding and cleansing himself is over, and now he becomes even a better apostle and a better teacher for us. And that's because he was committed. So I wanted to do this, and it's like, okay, I have no words for a conclusion. I'm sorry, Calvin. I have no words for conclusion. I have a map. And when you look at this map and you see where he was in the second missionary journey, you go, oh, there's Philippi. He must have written something to the Philippians. Why would he write something to the Philippians? Because Lydia, the first convert in Europe, and the Philippian jailer. He goes down to Thessalonica, gets run out of town, but we already have him writing 2 books there. He goes to Berea, and these people are like sponges. Give me more. Give me more. I want to know more about God. He goes to Athens. Well, enough said about Athens. And in Corinth, he's going to end up writing 2 letters. Well, really, they say, according to history, 4 letters to the Corinthian church, but 2 letters. And he heads over to Ephesus, and then finally he goes home. And it's always nice when you can go home. And next week, we will start on his third missionary journey, which has some pretty cool stuff in it. And that's today's lesson.